Finally time for some WRX content. Alright boys, we're finally doing something to the WRX today that I've been wanting to do for so long, because as mean as Stella looks, she just needs a little facelift. So today, finally, thanks to help with the Retrofit source, I'm doing a full LED conversion of the headlights. At first I was thinking about maybe doing the HID conversion like Nick had done on the Legacy, but after doing some research, I figured out that going the LED route is what I wanted to do. So today we're gonna go ahead, break apart the lights. I'm gonna get rid of the orange bulbs, the orange here on the side. I'm not gonna give away exactly what I'm doing yet to the headlights. You're gonna see that later in the video, especially in the reveal of the cinematic. But today we're just gonna get the lights looking ultra stealth. I just want the front end to look a little bit different, so I'm gonna go ahead and dive into it. Amateur hour, forgot to pull off the front plate. I forgot I did the relocation kit, so not gonna so easily slip off without pulling this off. So gotta pull the plate off, disconnect the faceplate to the relocation kit, and then we're gonna pull that bumper off. The king of over tightening has over torqued the bolt to my license plate, so we need to go get a socket, Allen key, so we can get a little more leverage, bust this nut.
This man will over tighten stuff every time. So either then we go to take it off and it's too tight, or he over tightens it and breaks something because he's worried it's gonna fall off. So now we're running to the hardware store, grabbing a socket style Allen so we can put it on a wrench, like you said, get more leverage. So we'll be right back.
And that, kiddos, is why you don't over torque your shit. Alright boys, so currently I am unbolting the headlights. While I'm working on that, Nick's gonna go ahead and take off the covers of the hella horns. I just, over time, the red's faded a little bit dirty, and just with the new stealth look, I wanna go with something different. So I'm not gonna tell you guys what color we're going quite yet, but we're gonna go ahead and get these all unbolted, and then get to start taking this stuff apart. Alright, front end is completely stripped down. We've got the hella horns first coat of paint on. They're looking really, really crispy. I love how they're looking so far. Still might need maybe 1 or 2 more coats. Other than that, now we've got the lights off. We're gonna go ahead and take those up to upstairs, get them cooking in the kitchen. But before we get them into the oven cooking, we need to take off any of the hardware that we don't need. So any of like the plastic tabs that used to connect the headlights and the bumper together, wiring, bulbs, everything out that doesn't need to go into the oven is gonna come off the lights first. So we're gonna go ahead and meet you guys upstairs, walk you through stripping that down, and then we'll be able to get going from there. All right, boys, we are in the kitchen now. It is time to start taking apart all the parts we don't need off the lights. So that's just gonna include, basically all the plastic caps. And I'll show you a pile of what we've stripped from the lights after we get it off. But that's just gonna basically include the plastic bracket here at the bottom, that clips the headlight into the front bumper, as well as any of the wiring for the bulbs, as well as unscrewing off the harness here and over here on the blinker bulb. So we'll go ahead and take these off, and then I'll show you what that pile looks like once we're all done. We've got all the parts off off now. The bracket that held on the light, the whole wiring harness, so you just have to disconnect all the bulbs as well as the main clip, the plastic cap that came off the back of the high beam, and just some screws that hold the lens and the backing of the light together. So now we got the oven is warming up, and we're gonna get a light in here soon, so we'll walk you through that steps right now. All right guys, so we went ahead just for educational purposes and split this one off camera, and it was very successful. Everything came apart very easily, and that was also in aid of the Morimoto headlight splitter I got off the Retrofit source. I would recommend that you always get this if you're gonna split your headlights. Nick didn't do it with the splitters, and he had one hell of a time getting his headlights apart. We literally split that headlight in like 5 minutes or less. Super easy. The hard part now is gonna be cleaning this, but like, I can't even believe how easy that was to split it with this. So highly recommend it. We're gonna go ahead and do the other light on camera now so you guys can see how we split it.
Lou, did you get like a sugar daddy or something right around the time of Black Friday? Dude, this is quite the haul.
I mean, maybe. Shout out Retrofit Source for that sale, because you all plugged me. That was real good.
Tell me you got the new cat upgrade.
Yeah, dude, Stealth Black. Real quick overview with you guys. I pretty much went full out. You don't need to get all the resistors and stuff I got, but basically I'm replacing the reverse light, the front blinker, rear blinkers, the rear markers, the brake lights in the back, as well as switching to clear projectors, fog, high beam, and low beam lights. And then I got all the extra harnesses and stuff to prevent any flickering, as well as the flasher for the LEDs that you need to convert. All right, we're in the kitchen now, and it is time to get chefing. I am following some guy's thread on the DIY split for these headlights from the Nasdaq forum, so I'll go ahead and throw that link in the description below if you want to follow it step for step as well. So he recommended preheating the oven to 220 degrees, so I'm going to do that right now. Boy, how do you turn on your oven?
You press bake like any other oven.
Where's the bake? Oh, shit. Bake 220. Boom, start. So I'm just gonna let that preheat a little bit. He also did recommend throwing the lights in a little bit early while the preheat is still going, so it's not as much of a shock to the light, because that's a little scary. We're throwing our very expensive headlights in the oven. Don't want to mess this up, so I'm gonna just go ahead and follow him to a T, and we'll get it going.
Put that thing in there, son. We also did wet the cardboard a little bit so that doesn't catch on fire and in turn roast your light.
Oh, we might need to hit the trim, boy. Oh no.
Make it happen, dude.
Oh. Anything is possible. Alright, we're gonna take back what we said. The wet, damp cardboard is not the move. Do not do that. You might burn your house down. That was poor advice, whoever said that on the 350Z forum.
Dude, leave it to the Z boys to almost burn shit down.
We got a little toasty, and we kept spraying with water trying to keep it wet, but we almost caused a fire in the complex, so we're gonna say no go. You know what that means, boys. Turkey's done. She's a beaut. Okay, so first what we want to make sure we do is there's 2 plastic tabs on the bottom, on the top, excuse me, and then there are also plastic tabs on the bottom. We want to make sure you get those up and over so you don't break any plastic. Once you do that, we're going to be able to start separating. So what we learned is the best trick is to get that tab up a little bit, create a little bit of space with the screwdriver, and that's when I come in with the splitter. And boom, just like that. Very easy split. Splurge on these, you will not regret it. Alright, so the next step is getting everything pulled out and prepped that is going to be painted. So this will be getting all painted one color, as well as the high beam housing, we need to get that pulled out. This amber caution and the blinker housing will be getting painted as well. And then also the next step that I'm not super sure about right now, I need to pull out the projector because I am replacing that with a clear glass projector. Just get that brightest output that I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this taken apart and then try to figure out how to get that lens out. Alright guys, now to painting the innards of the headlights, and first up, getting rid of these nasty ass orange markers. So first gonna do a nice little light coat, get it to stick, and then we'll come back again. guys, just as a good safety precaution, I have just been cleaning everything that we're painting with rubbing alcohol just to remove any dirt, oily fingerprints that we may have gotten on here, just so I can make sure that that paint is going to stick as best as it possibly can. So the side marker and this housing I'm about to paint, I'm going with a satin black paint. I really wanted the stealth black look. I thought that looks really good. So for that I used Krylon satin black. I'm going to go ahead and start painting this one here now.
We got the assembly line going down here. Lou's got 3 coats, I think, on everything that's out here. Let us show you real quick. Both the headlight housings coming along nicely. The satin black finish looking super stealth. Got the backs of the side markers. We'll need to let those dry and then flip them over. What are you thinking?
Just as I wanted. I mean, I just really wanted a clean, simple look. Wasn't trying to overdo it, do anything super fancy. There's a lot to being simple, and it just says a lot about your car when you look at it, and it just, you know, obviously not, you don't want to be basic, but we like to keep it simple. So I'm very excited to get them all put back together and see how they look. Next up is the, this is the blinker housing. I'm going with Duplicolor's metal cast. Still has that reflectivity to it a little bit, but it's more of like a matte chrome, almost is what it looked like in the photos. This was from that guy's thread I was telling you about. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the first coat on here. How well the camera's gonna pick it up, but this color looks so sick, guys. It still holds some of its reflective properties, and it just looks absolutely amazing. It's drying. We're gonna go ahead and head back upstairs, clean out all the glue in the crevice, so that way we can, once these are completely dry, that we can just throw everything back together, reassemble, get those cooked back together in the oven, and then we're gonna get everything reassembled, and then hopefully start putting some bulbs in the car.
Pretty much sums up how we're feeling right now. Lou, what's going on over here?
So, as to be expected, nothing is ever as easy as it seems. So the problem is we are swapping out the lenses right now, and the problem that me and Nick ran into is that one of them locked in really nice and solid. The other one, I'm not even gonna put it in right now because it's just too much of a hassle, shakes when it's in the housing. So I was like, okay, cool, let's just go ahead and throw in those spacers that I bought from the Retrofit source, but it's just a whole lot of shit because that inside ring is just too small to go around the lens, and it shows when you put it in. Boys, it is day 2, a week later. So unfortunately we had to stop last week because I could not take how the lens was shaking in the projector housing, and one of them was sitting nice and flush. So I went ahead and called the Retrofit source on Monday when I got home this week, and basically they overnighted me a new lens. We just popped it in, still rattling. So luckily I planned for that and got plan B. I ordered the bigger spacer rings I was talking about. Remember how last week I said they had sent me out the smaller ones that just didn't quite fit in the projector housing the right way. So I went ahead and ordered the bigger ones. That is going to work perfect. I just need to trim up here on the edges a little bit because I'm just OCD and want that to be nice and clean. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but we're just going to clean up those edges a little bit, get those projector lenses popped in there, and get these lights back together.
While he does that, I'm going to work on getting these lights started to go back together as much as possible until we get the projector. But take a look at how these turned out. We got the satin black. It's kind of hard to see there, but looking real good. Had a long time to cure, which is awesome. And then Lewis, what was this paint called?
Smoke metal cast from I believe it was Duplicolor.
So it's kind of like an anodized, like gunmetal, I would say, is the best color to compare it to. But I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing one of these back together.
Naturally, nothing ever goes to plan as when we're working on the cars. So the last time you saw us, we were in the kitchen and we just went ahead and finalized everything, got the lights all put back together and installed in the car. So now we're gonna jump ahead and finalize all the wiring, just get everything tidied up, real dialed up to spec that we like it, and get some of the H11 harnesses here on the fog light so we can get the fog light bulbs on there and get everything ready to hit the street. just got back from the hardware store and we got this set up absolutely dialed. So now the mounting is gonna be a little bit different on each side just due to where we could mount it and what was available to us. But the brackets that we used to piece together the two harnesses is gonna be the same. So what we went ahead and did is we used a bolt and then just an aluminum spacer like that, just to keep the two harnesses apart and keep them from overheating because they are vented and they do have to heat, have some heat that they output. But other than that, we got both of those dialed up on an L bracket in here and then have the spacer running off them on both the top and the bottom to keep it nice and tight. We'll go ahead and get a couple close-ups of that just so you guys can see, but everything is really dialed now. As you can see, it is really nice and tidy in there. So we're gonna go ahead and jump to the passenger side of the car and show you guys how we bolted up those harnesses together. On the other side now, we've got the first bolt through the hole, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys in what order we're doing this. Got the bolt, and then this is gonna be our bracket that we're gonna mount up to the car. Have a washer in there, so go ahead and put that through one side, and that's where you go ahead and add that aluminum spacer tube I was talking to you guys about. That's gonna go through the back side of that one, just like that. Throw one more washer on, and our nylon nut, and just go ahead and tighten it down. So it's kind of hard to film because you need two people to really be able to have someone to hold the washer and nut while you're putting this up. But as you can see, we got it up there, mounted it to the old horn bracket here, and it just is really nice fitment, clean, tucked away, not a lot of wires just everywhere. So really excited with how this turned out. We have one harness that we just need to get finalized here. This is for the fog light one. So there's not really many places to put it. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is use some heavy duty Velcro and just mount that to right here. Just that way everything will be just super nice and tucked away. We'll get some zip ties to finalize these wires here. But with having that there, everything is gonna be nice and tidy in here for us. Both setups have been completely attached now with their brackets. And we finally just got in there and tidied everything up with the zip ties, just get the wires out of the way. And it is looking absolutely dialed. Everything is just nice and neat. That way when we go to put the bumper back on, we just have like one cord to attach, nothing else in the way. So I am very pleased with how we got this to look. And just for reference, here's the other side on the passenger side with using the bracket on the horn and got everything zip tied. Like I said, got that one wire exposed, so super clean. Definitely recommend doing something like this if you're gonna do the LED conversion. We have gotten everything tidied up now with all the wiring, so it is now time to maximize my light output, and we're gonna go ahead and restore the lenses on the headlights. Just using a little bit of the mother's headlight polish here. I'm just gonna apply just a little bit to the buffer here, get that on, and get these nice and clean.